We've got a lot of wind this morning, so I apologize in advance for any wind noise, but we'll do the best we can. I'm just going to walk by the entire garden here and let you look at what it looks like, and then we'll get in there and start talking about a few things. Here's our sunflower over by the peach tree. Spotted something this morning that was kind of cool. Hopefully we can get a look. There he went. Little praying mantis. I love those little things. He's got a good spot here. The flowers in that toilet are doing pretty good. The Dickinson pumpkin is really starting to spread out. I've got two younger ones over here. I'm going to pull one of those. I think it's going to just take up too much room. The sweet potatoes I have on the edges of the garden are really starting to spread out, so that's going to act as a kind of a barrier to keep some of the Bermuda grass from spreading into the garden. That little butterfly weed that the monarchs chewed down is starting to come back. These petunias look like they need deadheaded. The zinnias are starting to get flowers, just starting to open up. This Tasmanian chocolate's got a lot of tomatoes on it. I counted earlier, there's at least 15 tomatoes on it. And it's still setting on a few towards the top. So it's going to do really well. This dwarf Jade Beauty's got tomatoes on it. I gave them a little trimming yesterday. Then this one is called Serendipity. You can see it's got tomatoes. And the ones in the straw bales have a few. This tomato over here is called Pink Passion. It's also a dwarf. If I can get over here where I can look at it. It's got quite a few tomatoes on it. It's still setting on. Let's get over here where we can look at this 3945. It's setting on pretty well. It's got a few. The Aunt Ruby's German Green, it's got a few. The Belgium Giant, it's got a few. While I'm over here, this squash is climbing on the fence here. One of the vines looks like it's dead or just almost dead. That just happened overnight, and the first thing I suspect is the squash vine borer. I haven't really had time to get into it yet, but I'll cut that out of there and see what we have, and if I can remember I'll share that next time. Pole beans are climbing real well. Peppers over here are starting to grow. No peppers on yet over in this area, but we have peppers over in the other part. The ginger is starting to grow. Let's just look at some of the peppers we have on these plants. This one kind of looks like a little jalapeno, but it's starting to turn purple. And none of the blooms have been purple so far. I was suspecting that the cross might have been between an Oda and a black Hungarian, but the more I think about it, the more I think it was a jalapeno that it crossed with. I have another one here that's got peppers on it, and it's got one that's turned purple. Then we have a couple that are lighter color, kind of like the Otis do. I'm curious to see what those are going to look like. And I haven't tasted any yet. We'll see how hot they are. But they're all getting little peppers on them. So we'll be able to do a taste test before too long, I think. This Big Daddy's got several good sized peppers on it. And I already picked one of those not too long ago. Cucumbers are really climbing, but no cucumbers yet. White Tomasol's got a few. And the Boxcar Willie has got blooms, but no tomatoes yet. Eggplants here are really looking good, but they're just kind of coming into their own and haven't got blooms yet. But I think that when these finally do start setting on, they're going to really be loaded with fruit. And the basil between the plants is starting to grow. Get over here and look at, there's that Midnight Fire. Finally got a red color pepper on it. That's going to look cool when they turn red. The albino bullnose, they've got peppers. The Oda over here, it's got quite a few little peppers. We'll be able to pick some for too long. Fairy tale eggplant, I'll be able to pick a couple of those maybe today. The corn is taller than the fence now, and it'll be about 7 feet high by the 4th of July. Sweet potatoes are doing great. They're starting to sprawl out all over the place. Peppers in this grow bag are getting big enough I can remove those forks soon. Everything's just looking really good. There's that smaller corn, it's starting to grow. And the Cleopatra canna is got those red streaks into foliage. And as you can see, that extends up into the flowers. The Mexican sunflowers have no flowers yet, but the plants are doing really well. And when they flower, I think they're going to be something to see. The fennel, it's well over 6 feet tall. That's what I've been feeding to the black swallowtails. Let's look at those blackberries while we're over here. They're starting to get ripe now. I'm probably going to have to pick some today or tomorrow maybe. But they're loaded with berries. And the sunflowers over here, the Titans are actually taller than the Mongolian giants. But the Mongolian giants haven't even started to form a flower head as far as I can tell yet, so they've got a lot of growing to do. Here's a look at some of the peaches that are on the tree. It's got more peaches than I thought it did. They're starting to get that red color to them now, so they're a lot more noticeable than they were. The banana tree is actually shorter than the fennel, so it's got some catching up to do. It'll be plenty tall by the end of the summer. And those two sunflowers are Velvet Queen, and they're well over 8 feet tall now. I've got one over by the fence that's just starting to open up. Let's go look at the color on it. This thing's really dark. It's going to be pretty when it opens. And the nice thing about it, they don't just have one flower, they have multiple flowers, so it'll be really pretty when some of them open. And while we're back here, I can give you a closer look at the blackberries. It's still blooming, and it's got Lots of berries on it. Some of them getting ripe and some of them just starting to turn red, and all stages of development there. I'll do a quick walk by of these ornamental peppers. They're starting to grow pretty well. There's that purple flash. Always wanted to see a close-up picture of one of these, and so I'll just give you a close-up. It has kind of like white streaks and green streaks in the purple foliage. Kind of cool looking. The Medusa's starting to put on peppers. We have a pepper called Conga. It's got purple peppers on it. The Rose of Sharon is just starting to bloom. Now, as I've mentioned many times before, this is my favorite flower for hummingbirds. So this one will be in full bloom when the hummingbirds start to migrate back through on their way south. There's a look at our little fig. It's doing really well. It is off to a very, very slow start because of our cool, wet weather, and once it warmed up and we got some sunshine, this thing really started to perk up. When I was out here yesterday, I noticed a bee buzzing around our bee house. So hopefully they'll start using those soon. I'll let you know when they do. That's a quick look at how our garden's doing. Let me know how your garden's doing. And if you're just now finding this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Otherwise, like, comment, and share. We'll see you next time.